Super, super, super amazing busy week, but not necessarily the stocks we were focused on. So incredible action this week. Really some of the best trading we have seen in a long time. Because of we've really gotten the volatility back in these low floaters, MBOT, LMFA, TBLT. Even in pre-market, Jivo was running today. A lot of big movers in low float land, which is great, great for day trading. Which is if most of us look to swing as well as day trade. Now, what we normally do on the weekly watch list, which again, be sure to like the video if you like these videos. Let us know, like it, ring that bell. That way you get notified as soon as we upload these on Friday nights. And then also in the description below, you can go to StocksToTrade.com/watch list and you can get these swing trade watch lists, delivered straight to your inbox every Sunday. So make sure to do those things, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and then you'll get the list right in your email. Now, that being said, I'm going to review today, or this week, I should say. And, there were some okay moves, but nothing that we focused on. I mean, hey, full disclosure, this week, none of these trades were like off the chart, off of the list, but there's lessons there, and some of them are still in play. So let's start out with the beginning of the list. You'll see the notes from last week on my screen. And, Twitter, I am probably going to take off the list simply because we've got the holiday next week. As a reminder, if you're watching this Friday night or over the weekend, remember Monday is Martin Luther King Day here in the U.S., so U.S. markets are closed. So just keep that in mind if you're doing your market prep, which I hope this video is part of that, and you're going into next week. Don't forget, markets are closed Monday. And you might hear me if I say Monday, remember I mean Tuesday. So if I make that mistake, mentally fix it. So anyway, Twitter has been on the list 3 weeks running now, and it's worked pretty well. Last week a little better, a little more choppy this week, but a big move today. Actually, as it held VWAP early this morning, it had a big move, almost $1 to the upside on big volume. So you had to be patient, choppy through the week. But if you were swinging this from, again, 3 weeks ago, let me go to the 1 month chart, was when we first featured this, and, when it broke out right here. So, I mean, not sure if any of you would have that much patience, but this is the breakout we talked about. You can go back to the past videos. You can see it broke out of, I call it the December doldrums. And it broke on the 4th, and that was the first time it was on the list, and it was 29, and it hit 34 today. So if you are a longer-term trader, I mean, hey, $5 a share in 3 weeks. I know a lot of big hedge funds or retirement funds. I know you'd probably love to see those kinds of gains in your 401k. So that being said, the fact that Twitter's coming off the list doesn't necessarily, I don't believe it can go higher. If anything, it's probably set up to continue higher. It's just, I like to bring in new stocks. So if you're in Twitter, congrats. Nice move. So next on the list was Yeti. They released earnings the previous Friday night. So let me zoom in a little bit, and I'll go to like the 15-day chart. So right here is last Friday night. So Yeti is, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Yeti, the coolers and the cups. I was going to grab mine, but it's over there. But a lifestyle brand, but they're hot. I compared this to GoPro a lot. GoPro was an amazing run. I think GoPro IPO'd at 30, went over 100. Now it's like $4. So now, not saying Yeti's going all the way to 100, but it was nice to see a good earnings announcement and a big spike on a Friday. And, these are the stocks that lots of times would continue into the next week. So while Yeti kind of went nowhere all week, I mean, you could see it was basically sideways. It's still, I think, feel free to argue, comment below. What do you think? Do you think, actually, this is I'm glad I asked. Comment below on Yeti. Do you think this was a good setup coming into this week with the high volume breakout on earnings with the SPY rebounding a lot? Ultimately, they're not all going to be winners, but I'm curious your thoughts on Yeti. I think, going back to when I did this video and did this list last weekend, it was a great setup. Went nowhere. You can't win them all. So next is INSG. Decent spike early in the week. Let me go to the 5-day chart. It did gap up, but then kind of faded into the end of the week and only had 50 cents of range. So another stock that kind of got forgot. AXSM, still like this. It's been kind of up and down all week, but the trend is up. I want to zoom out. This one first gapped up, remember, on news, and I'm going to draw a quick trend line just to kind of show you what I like about this. Whoops, let me go a trend line. You can see that it's still slowly creeping higher through the week. So a lot like Twitter. This one we first featured 2 weeks ago. It's a nice one that if you're a part-time trader, if you're busy at work, it's holding its gains, closed above 8, slowly grinding higher. Not amazing by any means, but if you were in this, it hit that. You can see it hit the high of the week, basically either last night or this morning in pre-market. So what do you do? This is another one that I would consider more of like a continual hold, really. And then the last one was SAEX. This was purely a squeeze play on Monday. And I guess you could say I wouldn't necessarily call this a win. If you go back to the notes from last week, SAEX was ripping after hours on Friday. And in the end of the day, did spike $1 Monday morning from 550 to 6, but then faded into the close and got destroyed. So, but the idea was just a swing trade, or I'm sorry, a Monday morning short squeeze type play, and it did spike it down. So, all right, everyone, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching and tuning in, I guess. And again, I would like to thank, especially, post your ideas for next week. I'd love to use one of your ideas on the watch list. And then my original question, what do you think about Yeti gapping up on a Friday on earnings? Is that a type of trade you look to make? So thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you next week.